I say do tomorrow. Anyways, okay. So let's get started here, I guess. So, it's pretty simple. This is Emerald Network. My name's Braden Ambrose. I run a landscaping business. Pretty damn successful. Long-term investing. Pretty damn successful. I'll check for the last 4 years, I have around 40% ROI, so nothing wrong with that. 1.4 times in my money I put in. Um, Today alone, up 3%. We're up year to day. We're up right around that 40% mark, so we're expecting even higher returns this year. That'll be pretty good for it. But it's basically what I do. I run my business, which I'm thinking about turning into a nonprofit soon, and then just day trade. Pretty damn good at that. Pretty profitable. And yeah, let me sip my coffee. But yeah, that and long term investing. Right now I'm having my charts up on GJ. Plan is to kind of, I don't know, it's Asia session, so it's pretty low volatility. I'll teach you guys about that a little later, but don't know if I really want to take a trade here, but if I do take a trade, get a pretty good idea here. I'm gonna wait till this is done to really look at the charts and see if I want to take anything, but that's about it. So the biggest thing with this stuff is, and like success in general, whether that's trading, money, even just life, you gotta have discipline. Like making yourself uncomfortable and going to do stuff that might seem hard. Yeah, it might suck. Like even in the gym, I've always been in the gym since I was like very young. Like even probably when I was like 11 or 12, I got my first like set of weights before I was even going to an actual gym. And it's just about discipline. You gotta be able to do it. You gotta know that's gonna suck, especially when it comes to trading, which that's my main focus right now. Trading sucks. Like what'll likely happen to you and what happened to me is for the first week, you're doing really good. You think, oh, this is so easy. Why doesn't everyone do this? It's not. Definitely isn't. You'll definitely want to start on a demo no matter what. And, you know, TradingView, pretty good paper trading platform through there. And you'll be like, oh shit, if I would have been using real money, I would have made like 10 bands this week. No, you wouldn't have. You'll do good. And then it's almost like the more you learn, the worse you get. It's what it feels like at the start. And that's not true at all. It's really, you just learn and then, you see a liquidity sweep like down here and then you're like, oh, every single liquidity sweep is going to make it go up. No, that's just not how it works. You might have a high wick, but did market want to go to that direction? I don't trade little stuff like this, and I don't trade on bank holidays because it's just stupid. No strategy is going to work on a bank holiday because the banks aren't working, and when you're day trading, you're piggybacking off the banks. But it's the biggest thing. Like, you don't want to overcomplicate it. You just kind of keep going. But that's kind of how the learning curve works. You're like, oh shit, this is so easy. Then you realize, oh shit, I'm learning more. It isn't really that easy. But then with market experience, and if you're like watching, I don't know, my videos, TJR, that's where I learned some of this from. Um, then you're starting to realize, oh, so this goes with this goes with this. You can even use ChatGPT a little bit, help you out. And then it all starts to click eventually. I think I've been trading since a little early into the summer, and it like I'm gonna sound so egotistical here, and like so full of myself, but I am quite a bit smarter than most people are. So it took me only like 3 months to really turn profitable and not just like make a few bucks, like turn profitable where I could use this occupation and never have to work a normal job in my life. Um, Now if it's taking you 3 months to do it and you're not profitable yet, ask yourself the questions. Be like, did I really put a full 3 months into this? Or was I sitting on my ass, laying in bed, watching TikTok, scrolling TikTok, snapping girls, this and that, and then only focusing on trading for like 20 minutes a day? Because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you're doing that, you're not actually trading. And you can't expect to have any growth, whether it's trading, running a business, doing anything for that matter, if you're just on your phone, sitting on your ass. Like, no. And then the second part is, you're not, like, I hate to say it to you, but this isn't some get rich quick scheme. It's just like any other job, just like starting a business, anything like that. You have to put the time in, and it's different for everyone. Some people it might take 2 years. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. It could take a while for you to learn this shit. It, like, technically it is the hardest thing that you can possibly do. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you'll get lucky, maybe you'll get on it. Um, but that's the biggest thing in the way I trade is it's not like some strategy, which I'm sure these work if you model your entire trading along them, but it's not like, oh, 15-minute range, get this breakout, get that. No. At least the way I trade, you're just avidly looking for where price wants to go. So, say price is like, there's one spot here, which it's not always going to be like this, and this isn't even an example, but say we have a shit ton of liquidity right on this red box, and you're looking for price to go to it. You're like, I know in my heart that price is going to go here. Then literally all you are doing is waiting for it to get as far away from that point as possible and then show an intent of wanting to come back up there. So in this example, say right here, this candle, we break this structure, make a higher high. Maybe you'll use that. You know, it's a lot more advanced than that, but maybe you use that and then enter our little short or long position here. And then probably you'll want to put stop loss like at the last low here, or if you're playing microstructure, you go like here and then take profit there. Boom. Like it's simple, but it's really not. So I mean, that's kind of just getting it started here. Tomorrow I'll start explaining some more stuff with market, but it's really what it is. Just dedicate yourself. You know, if you've been out of the gym for a while, or if you've never even thought of going to the gym, hop in the gym. Do something for your discipline. Get it on track, because that's the biggest things here are whether it's business, trading, anything. You have to establish your psychology before everything. You have to be able to go into this game and be like, I'm going to work my ass off and I'm going to be successful. Because if you go in with that mindset, if you're like, I'm gonna work my ass off, I'm gonna say you want to be a millionaire. If you're like, I'm gonna be a millionaire, and then you're putting a shit ton of hours in every day, that's really all you need. Chances are you'll be a millionaire. Now, there's different paths to get to that goal that might make it quicker or slower, but if you're genuinely telling yourself and you're believing that you're gonna make it, then chances are you're gonna fucking make it, because you're gonna be working. Because no matter what goal you have, unless it's something crazy, but no matter what goal you have, if you're like, I'm gonna reach this goal, and then you're researching on your little computer, researching, how can I get to this goal? And then whatever it says, even ChatGPT, whatever it says, you're avidly doing and you're avidly putting that time in, you'll get it. It's just how the universe works. Like, I can't put it in any simpler terms. So even if you never watch another video on trading, even never looking at business, anything like that, which I hate to break the bad news, but if you're going to want to make money, unless you're a really good gambler or you marry a girl or a guy with a shitload of money, you're going to either have to learn a high income skill or you're going to have to start a business. But that's all it comes down to. No matter what you're pursuing in life, it's discipline, finding out what you have to do to reach your goals, and then doing that. You can't be like, I want to be a millionaire. You have to avidly chase it. And that's what it all comes down to. It's discipline. Now, we got around 10 minutes here, so we'll keep going a little bit. But, so, I guess we'll do more of a trading themed video here. So, if you're trading, the 3 pillars, discipline and mindset, you're gonna go into this and it's gonna be a lot of influx, you know. You gotta be able to make like 5K and then not over risk the next day. So say you make like a trade, you're risking $2,000. You make 5,000. So you're making 2.5 times that. You cannot go into market the next day and be like, shit, I every time I touch the charts, it's gold. If I would have risked 10K here, then I would have made 25K. No, you're not gonna. It's just not how it works. So you can't get overconfident. And then in the same sense, you can't have like, because it's market, you can get really damn close to 100%, but there's always going to be that 1% where you could lose a trade. So you can't lose a trade and be down like $1,000 and then be like, I suck. And then all of a sudden, shit, say this trade right here, for example, say, oh shit, we entered right here, stop loss right here, and then say price pushes up to here and you had all your confluences and shit, you can't be missing out on $2,000 all because you lost a $1,000 trade yesterday. Like, you have to have a reinforced psychology. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be able to tell yourself you know what you're doing. You can't let the wins give you an ego, and then you can't let the losses make you become a little bitch. It's that simple. And then second pillar right here, strategy. A lot of my friends and even some of my family have asked me this. Well, what if I just put one account on a buy position and one account on a sell position? Okay, so let's do the math here. If we have $1,000 risk, same position size, and we're doing that, it's gonna be break even. It's gonna be $0. If you have fucking broker fees, it's gonna be less than that. You're losing money. No, it doesn't work. You have to find some type of strategy, which I'll teach a few. I've made a sizable amount of money off of multiple strategies. I'll teach you guys the ones that I like the best, the ones that worked for me, and even then, they might not click for you. You might want to do something else. It's really that simple. Discipline and then strategy. And then at that point, you have your shit down. You know, you have your strategy, you have your discipline, you're making money, you're not losing money because you're getting overconfident, and you're not losing money because you're being a little bitch. So then, what it comes down to is risk management. This is a big one. I don't know. Guys like TJR say it's really big. I don't think it's really as big as the other ones, but it's also the thing that'll make or break your account. You know, I don't know. Say you have like a 1 to 10 risk reward, but it's only like a 40% chance of hitting. Okay. So not even 1 to 2% of my account. We'll just say $500. So like 0.5% of my account. If you hit that and it's genuinely 10 times reward, you're making $5,000. So and then if you lose, you're losing $500. So is there a reason to over leverage and fucking risk a shit ton of money? No. And then in the same sense, if you see a trade and you're like, wow, this is probably gonna hit. You know, you use ChatGPT, maybe ChatGPT says it's like a 90% chance of hitting. Then, yeah, feel free to risk 2,000. Maybe I wouldn't go to 3,000, but maybe 3,000 bucks. You know, because it's a high probability. That's what the game's all based on. It's high probabilities. So, yeah, right there. Risk management. That's the last one. It'll make or break your accounts, like I said. It's not as important as the other ones, but it's the one thing that'll completely shit on your account or make you grow your account a shit ton. So, that being said, about to wrap it up here. You know, we're on 15 minutes, but let's keep in mind you got the basics now. You know, you can wait for me to post another one and I'll explain some more strategy. You can start learning from me. You know, hop on TradingView, open a paper trading account, get started, and yeah, I mean that's all. I will over time when I get more time. It's kind of pretty busy schedule. You know, I run my business. If y'all want advice on that, on how to start a business, I can drop that. My plans to be dropping like probably weekly, maybe monthly stock updates, depending on how much time I have. Um, but I mean, that's free money right there. Um, in the future, my plan is to maybe make a Discord, charge a little fee just to kind of make it worth my while. In that Discord, I'll like live stream my trade. So, you know, say I risked like $1,000 on a trade, made like 2 bands on it. If you're risking the same amount as me, you'll be making that much. So that's literally free game right there. I mean, that's literally if you just subscribe to that shit, you'll be making a shit ton of money without even having to learn this shit. It's up to you. At some point, I will probably drop a course. Um, and like I'm gonna be honest here. The goal of the game is to teach people and make money. So, you know, if I'm making a few bands off trading every week, which it's a little more than that, but you know, if I can make more money by teaching other people to do it, and this is something I'm passionate about, you know, I'm gonna do it. Same thing with business. I'm kind of getting out of the business world just because I like the finance sector more, but I've done it. I've made a shitload of money doing it. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I know what I'm talking about, so if anyone wants to know how to do that shit, if I get enough feedback, if people want that, I will drop a course for that. That's kind of gonna be more of a pain in the ass type of thing. That's gonna be more of a money thing. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's just like monetizing the fact that I know how to do that shit. And then I don't know. I honestly, just because I have a feeling that anyone who watches this and actually sits towards the end, I have a feeling they're going to be a like-minded person like me, which people like me, people that are willing to like go get after it, you know, all that good stuff. I want to see them succeed. So I'll probably just put y'all on free game and just give my stock updates for free on here. Literally all you have to do is watch the video where I'll be like, this is what I'm investing in this month. Um, this is the ratio of my portfolio. You know, tax reasons can't get too in depth into it, but I'll put y'all on a free game. I mean, y'all make 10K trading in a month. You invest in what I'm investing in. It's more than 10K. I'll put it that way. Um, so all that, and then yeah, I don't know if the main point of this is just to kind of give my knowledge, but if enough people want like financial advisor tips, which I'm not a registered financial advisor, so do not take anything I say to heart. Just watch my success. But um, you know, I know what I'm talking about, so just kind of take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I know what I'm talking about, you know. It's kind of weird especially going to school and stuff still, it's pretty fucking weird walking those halls and shit and seeing the teachers and all that and pulling up and like just comparing my goals to theirs, especially some like the weak-minded teachers. I'll tell you, I'll end on this. It is pretty damn awesome to see your teachers and be like, they aren't making shit. Or, and I like some of my teachers, I won't lie, but being like that, or just walking into school, being able to do whatever just because you know you don't need it. Like, you know you're already successful. Or like planning on next year buying a supercar. Like, y'all gotta really think about that. Like, you gotta think how great this shit could be if you actually dedicate your time to it and you're really willing to make it. I'm telling you, it'll take you places that you never thought you've been, and that's coming from me. I haven't even, I haven't even scraped the surface, but I'll leave it on that, and y'all have a nice night.